Okay, we got about 10 minutes left to boil. I'm going to put in 1 Whirlfloc tablet and 1 ounce of Fuggles. I'm not going to put them in the basket. I'm just going to let them float about inside of the wort. So we got about 10 minutes. I'm going to get the chiller prepared and in position, and we will start chilling in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're almost at the end of the boil, another minute or so. I've got my chiller hooked up here. What I've got is a grant of sorts. I've got a couple of gallon stainless pot with 3 different size. It was a set of sieves. Then I like to run the wort in there, and it helps kind of filter it out, the pellet hops and stuff, so it doesn't go into the plate chiller. That feeds into the plate chiller, and the plate chiller into the bucket. And I've got my water line hooked up and going out the door. So here, my second batch, my IPA, I wanted to correct myself. There was 23.5 pounds of grain in the IPA, not the 18 as I had mentioned earlier. And the sparge water for that is just about at 180 degrees, and it has about roughly 10 minutes left for the 1 hour mash. I'll probably let it go an extra 5 minutes, but we'll start recirculating that once I get this one run off, and I'm going to do that right now. It's about time. So shut off the gas, open up the valve, and we're chilling. Takes about a minute to get up to the outlet of the grant to start working its way into the chiller. And that sound is the sound of cool wort going into the bucket. Not a very good picture, but you can see it. Taking the hot basket out and letting that drip into the kettle while I'm running off, and you can see that the sieve does a good job at collecting those pellet hops that are just floating around in the kettle. There's the end of the nut brown. Just finished pumping out of the keggle through the cooler, and here's the hops that are left, and we have probably, well, I'll have to check, but 5 1/4 gallons, I hope, in the bucket. Okay, there it is. There's the nut brown, about 5 1/4 gallons. It's probably about 50 or about 65 degrees right now, so it's about perfect for pitch and yeast. I'm going to start the recirculation of the IPA. Grab my colander. Since this is such a large grain bill, I can't set it down in. I have to use the handles to set it on top to give me a little clearance. So I'm going to get this started, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, I have the IPA recirculating. We'll give that about 5 minutes or so to clear, and then we will start the process again. We'll run her off into the boil kettle, and we'll add our sparge water. Meanwhile, I'll take the finished nut brown down to the basement and get it prepped for yeast. Mike stopped by, have a beer, brought me a beer, appreciate it. I've got my second batch, my IPA, in the boil, and it's just coming up to a boil. I'll be putting my hops in about 5 minutes. Okay, here's the first addition of the hops, 3 3/4 ounces of Centennial. I'm putting it in the bag because this beer will have 11 ounces of hops, and it will plug up my little lauter grant, so I choose to use the basket. It's 45 minutes in the boil, 15 minutes to go. I got another 2 1/2 ounces of Centennial. Here we go. Okay, we got 5 minutes left. I'm going to throw in the 5-minute addition, another 2 ounces of Centennial. Boy, does that smell good. Here we are, the last addition, 1 more ounce at 1 minute. We'll let her boil for a minute, and then we'll start the runoff. Got the chiller and the grant all situated, ready to go. Runoff is going well. I just about have the first bucket filled to the 5-gallon mark, and once that's done, I will, maybe 5 1/4 gallons, I will switch it over to the next bucket. I've got the hop bag supported on top, and dripping all that wort from there. Okay, here it is. It's 2:45. So I started at 9:15. So that's what 5.5 hours since the start, and the brew day is finished. I got one 5-gallon batch of Nut Brown and one 10-gallon batch of my Island View IPA. So I'm going to take a quick gravity reading, and then I'm going to pitch some yeast, and we'll get them started fermenting. Well, the gravity check on the Nut Brown come in around 1051, 1052. That makes it around 85% efficiency for 8.5 pounds of grain. I'm going to check the IPA. Okay, and here's the IPA. It looks like it came in around 1070, and I did end up with 10 full gallons. So that puts that efficiency at around 80%. Usually lose a little bit of efficiency when I do 10-gallon batches. Probably not rinsing the grain enough, but anyway, that concludes this brewing day for me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.